Wanting to intimidate the new coach, the boy threw a punch at him. Unexpectedly, the coach was prepared. He immediately countered with a reverse hold, pinning the boy against the wall.
Teachers ain't supposed to touch students.
I'm not a teacher. I'm the new basketball coach.
The boy was then thrown out. Feeling utterly humiliated, he quit the team in a fit of anger. Soon after, 2 more players followed suit and left the team. Losing 2 key scorers on his very first day made the remaining players worry the team's strength would diminish, but the coach guaranteed he would develop new scorers on one condition: they had to sign a contract. However, the 3 rules in the contract seemed almost impossible to follow. The first rule stated they must use formal, respectful titles when addressing each other. This was a significant challenge for the foul-mouthed students. The second rule required them to be on time for all practices, otherwise they'd be penalized with 250 push-ups. This was hard to obey for those used to being late or leaving early, but the third rule was the real challenge, seemingly as difficult as climbing to heaven, because Carter demanded their overall grade point average must be maintained at a minimum of 2.3. Furthermore, they had to sit in the front row for all their classes, but they had joined the basketball team precisely to skip classes openly. Unable to accept this, the players directly brought their parents to confront Carter. The parents argued the requirement was just a 2.0 GPA to play, questioning why Carter was making things unnecessarily complicated, but Carter rebutted if their GPA was only 2.0, they would need a minimum SAT score of 1,050 to have a chance at an athletic scholarship. However, if their GPA reached 2.3, they would only need 950 points to qualify. Moreover, a 2.3 GPA was only a C+. Maintaining this average wasn't particularly difficult. Hearing this, the parents thought it did seem somewhat reasonable. They stopped opposing and signed the contract, but the very next day, a player broke the rules. Center Battle was 20 minutes late. According to the rules, he had to do 250 push-ups when a teammate tried to make excuses for him. The entire team suffered the consequences. They were all punished with 20 suicide runs. Battle was furious. He cursed at the coach, so Carter punished him with 500 push-ups. You win the bonus prize of 500 push-ups. And would you like to go for the grand prize of 1,000? To stay on the team and play, he ultimately chose to submit. They thought they would finally get to touch the basketball after finishing, but they didn't expect the following training would consist of even more intense physical conditioning. Actually, Carter had his reasons for doing this, because before taking the position, he had watched this team play. Their skills weren't actually bad, but the previous coach's outdated tactics had limited their performance. Furthermore, their hot tempers led to frequent fouls. Even more fatally, their physical fitness was far inferior to their opponents. This was why they were ranked last in the city's high school tournament. These dismal results pained Carter greatly, because he had once been a player on this high school's team. The championship banners hanging on the wall and the records that still stood unbroken were proof of his own prowess. He could have coached at any major college in the country, but he couldn't bear to see his alma mater performing so poorly. That's why he took over from the old coach. Just as training was in full swing, a new member arrived late. It was Carter's son, Junior Carter. It was his first day, having transferred from St. Francis High. He was late because he got lost, so he assumed his father would forgive him, but Carter treated everyone equally. He immediately